Genesis chapter 40. The wine chef and the baker. 1. Sometime later, the cupbearer and baker of the king of Egypt made an offense to their lord, the king of Egypt. 2. Pharaoh was angry with the two officers, the chief of cupbearers and the chief of bakers. 3. And he had them imprisoned in the house of the captain of the guard, in the prison in which Joseph was. 4. The captain of the guard left them in the care of Joseph, who served them. After a certain time. 5. The cupbearer and baker of the king of Egypt, who were in prison, dreamed. Each had a dream, both on the same night, and each dream had its own interpretation. 6. When Joseph went to see them the next morning, he noticed that they were downcast. 7. So he asked Pharaoh's officers, who were also imprisoned in his master's house, "Why are you with a sad countenance today?" 8. They replied, "We have had dreams, but there is no one to interpret them." Joseph said to them, "Are not the interpretations of God? Tell me the dreams." 9. Then the chief cupbearer told Joseph of his dream. "In my dream I saw before me a vine. 10. With 3 branches. It sprouted, bloomed, and gave grapes that ripened in bunches. 11. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand. I took the grapes and squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup and delivered it into his hand. 12. Joseph said to him, "This is the interpretation. The 3 branches are 3 days." 13. Within 3 days Pharaoh will exalt you and restore you to your position, and you will serve the cup in his hand, as you used to do when you were your cupbearer. 14. When all is well with you, remember me and be kind to me. Speak of me to Pharaoh and get me out of this prison. 15. For I was forcibly brought from the land of the Hebrews, and here too I did nothing to be thrown into this dungeon. 16. Hearing the chief baker of this favorable interpretation, he said to Joseph, "I also had a dream, on my head were 3 baskets of white bread." 17. In the top basket there were all kinds of breads and sweets that Pharaoh appreciates, but the birds came to eat from the basket I carried on my head. 18. And Joseph said, "This is the interpretation. The 3 baskets are 3 days." 19. Within 3 days the Pharaoh will behead you and hang you from a tree, and the birds will eat their flesh. 20. 3 days later was Pharaoh's birthday, and he offered a feast to all his advisors. In their presence he reintroduced the chief of cupbearers and the chief of bakers. 21. Restored to his position the chief cupbearer, so that he returned to being the one who served Pharaoh's cup. 22. But the chief of the bakers had hanged, as Joseph had told them in his interpretation. 23. The chief cupbearer, however, did not remember Joseph. On the contrary, he forgot about him.